What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Crew 2, and in this video I will be going over my top hovercraft on the game here. So compared to some of the other classes, there's not going to be that many hovercrafts, and I really do feel like a lot of people are probably not going to really use this class all that often. I'm also still wondering to this day if Motorfest is actually going to have hovercrafts. I do want to know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Do you guys think the game actually needs these? I really do feel like to a certain extent this is probably going to be like the least used class in the entire game, which honestly I really can't blame people for not wanting to use these. I really don't see a point of actually using the hovercrafts unless they're in like a summit. Besides that, I feel like a lot of people are most likely not going to want to do it leveling one of these up. But anyway, jumping right into this with my top hovercraft in the game here. So compared to some of the other classes, I'm actually only going to have one vehicle that I really do prefer in the hovercraft category. I do also have a feeling most people are probably going to already be using this one. The Proto Speedster is by far going to be one of the best hovercrafts in the game, if not the best since the game has basically released, because I feel like if they did add a new hovercraft, who is actually going to use one of these? I mean, I have mentioned this in older videos, but it's basically a mattress with some fans on the back of it, so I have a feeling Mattress Barn is not going to have any of these available. Now, one thing I have been noticing about the hovercrafts though is luckily these are not going to show up all that often in most of the summits. I really hope I don't actually jinx that now and then we start having more of these in the summits, because I know players do not like using these. And honestly guys, for those who hate the hovercrafts, you are not alone. I'm also not a big fan of these either, but I really do think the Proto Speedster is going to make your life a little bit easier. The main reason for that is I find this one to not only be the fastest one in the game, but it's also going to be one of the easiest ones to use as well. I might actually do a top speed test with all the hovercrafts in the future, so definitely stay tuned for that, but the Speedster is by far going to be the best option. I notice on some of the other hovercrafts that they do tend to seem like kind of unstable and just really annoying to use. Trying to go around corners with some of these is obviously going to be a big challenge, so having a Nitrochemist set on the hovercrafts, which I do know leveling these up might be a bit of a nightmare, is probably going to make these a lot more faster and also a lot better to use as well. One of the best perks you guys can have on these is also going to be Drifty. I notice having Drifty on these hovercrafts are definitely going to make them a lot easier to use, mainly because you guys normally are sliding all over the place on these anyway, so at least you're going to have a lot more nitrous in that aspect. And one thing I did notice about these as well is the fact that nitrous is actually going to be insanely useful on these, mainly because you guys will normally be going around corners, and I did notice the nitrous does help steer them, which is kind of odd, but I did notice having more nitrous can definitely save these, and it also does make them a lot easier to use as well. But overall, I really do feel like the hovercrafts are going to be one of those classes a lot of players are most likely not going to touch. That's why I've been thinking about a lot recently if Motorfest is actually going to have these in there. I do want to know what you guys think about that. Do you think Motorfest actually needs hovercrafts? I really do feel like there's going to be a lot of new vehicles in the game, so maybe having one less class in the game honestly might not hurt it. I also do know the planes are most likely going to be in there still with like the motocross bikes as well. So the biggest question is, does the hovercrafts actually need to be in Motorfest? Which maybe using a hovercraft on a volcano might be kind of entertaining, but I guess we will have to wait and see if those are going to be in the game. But if you guys are trying to level up the hovercrafts on the Crew 2, I would recommend doing the race called Gold Rush. It's like on the bottom where New Orleans is. I would say that's by far going to be the easiest event to grind in the hovercrafts, because I did notice the other ones can be kind of annoying with the AI, and we all know being on ace with some of these vehicles can be a bit of a challenge, especially if your vehicle is not completely maxed out with a good set. I did notice doing Gold Rush by far seems to be one of the easiest ones to do, but let me know what you guys think about the hovercrafts in the comments below and which one you guys prefer to use. I do have a feeling most people are most likely already using the Proto Speedster, but let me know if you guys do try out some of the other hovercrafts. I really never see any of them actually being used, but again guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and do remember, having an air mattress stowed away then throwing on some fans on the back of that thing is definitely not going to be a hovercraft. Even though it might be worth a shot, I would definitely recommend not doing that, but maybe we could see an airboat in the future, and or maybe in Motorfest.